So overall, some of these key factors can make you fall out of line with God and can be very dangerous on your walk to succeeding or getting that big grand golden belt. Isaiah 30 and 21. Your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, "This is the way. Walk in it," whenever you turn to the right hand or whenever you turn to the left. So I hope your day has been going pretty well. My day has been pretty amazing. I can't really complain. I mean, the sun's out, guns out. It's just a nice sunny day. Days like this you can't really argue with. There's other places elsewhere that's going through snow, sleet, and rain, or that's just like 100 degrees. So I can't complain with this. Isaiah, the passage of Isaiah. So just during this word and during this scripture, Israel, God's people, is pretty much just, not following his word and his commandments. They're making sculptures and making other false gods. And God is pretty much just telling them, follow my word and follow my steps, and I will lead you to the right direction. And so this word right here that I just read to you, Isaiah 30 and 21, was something the Lord told Isaiah, but what he's going to do with the people going forward. This happens even in today's world. Although it's not as prevalent as you saying just a scripture, we fantasize and put things over God that is not a sculpture or a some type of false deity. This could just be anything that we crave, such as a purse or a bag or just someone, actually an actual person. This could be really anything. So when making choices, once you get that goal of succeeding and getting that great golden belt, is that really the best outcome, you think? Again, just referencing the verse, Isaiah 30 and 21, God is the one to lead you and teach you the right ways to go. And succeeding doesn't always quantify as being the best thing for you to achieve. So one of the things that can lead you down a rabbit hole when reaching that goal or getting to that end goal of getting that great golden belt is just being money hungry. That's one of the first things I would like to talk about. It's just being money hungry and making that your God. If your decisions and choices are based around money, that can kind of interfere with love, relationships, people, or different other things, then there's a serious problem going on in your life. That's something that you really just have to take a chance to, or an opportunity to think about day to day. Being money hungry can just build up different characteristics that you might not think of, such as greed, even lust, or just pridefulness. So, and it's so funny because even when you look at celebrities in today's world, sometimes when you get that money, the end goal might leave you more sorrowful and just worried than when you initially started. So why stress so much about money when you have so many things in the world that can get you to that end goal besides just focusing on money? And so this kind of leads me to focusing, the second thing, which is focusing on others' approval, that can lead you astray as well. So the second thing would be focusing on others' approval. That can definitely lead you astray. The fact that, let's say, once you get that status or once you get that approval or you succeed, once you get that corner office at a corporation, or once you get 10 million followers, why is the other people's opinion, why should it matter to you? You shouldn't base other people's wants or needs or just opinions based off your actions of what you're going to do in your day-to-day life. That is a very dangerous path to walk down. And, for me, I don't want to get to the point where I get in a corner office and, overlook great people that can do the job just for people that have a good status or that fit the part. I want to always bring on people that have a good, willing soul that cares more about not just the company, but them themselves. I think that the more you care about yourself, that really shows the light that you can bring to whatever corporation or whatever cabinet you step in. So wherever you go, your light should show always. So number 3, this leads me to belittling people around you. So once you get that status again, once you become the president or whoever you become, you don't want to automatically put people down based off the status that you have. once you reach that end goal, of course, your mind's going to be up here. You already learned the initial steps to get where you are today, but you don't want to automatically shun people and look down on people that are really trying to get there and trying their best to achieve something in their life. And they're asking you questions, shadowing you. You don't want to belittle people like that. It's one thing to, it's one thing for you to, look past God and do your own thing, but it's another for you not to give grace to someone else who is God's child and overlook them. God is definitely, looking at that, and he's definitely judging that in your heart. So some of these things can really lead you astray and not make you walk the path that God set for you, and not allow you to really reap that golden belt that you once dreamed of or want to achieve. The belt might be golden, but what all did it come with? It's going to be very bittersweet sometimes. Now, this is just sometimes. Sometimes on the flip side, it can be great, but God has a different vision for everyone. So don't get caught up in just what I'm saying here today. But there's also another side to it that God also wants you to see, and that side is just it's what you don't accomplish. You might have in your plans to set out to achieve this big, great, grand thing, this great, big business idea, or again, reach 10 million followers. And sometimes you may not hit it. Sometimes you may not be able to get to that milestone, but maybe you might get to a smaller milestone. And so for that reason, here are some of the things that God might be letting happen that you might not realize until later down the road. One of the first things that can happen when you don't achieve everything that you set out to do would be just making you depend on God more. And I think that's one of the greatest things that you can really do when not getting that status. For me, just living my life and going through several different business plans and business ideas, and even just looking at relationships, it's just some of the things that I thought would be great to land and receive, or just to have a person on my side. When that didn't work out, several months or several years later, that was the best thing that happened for me. So I'm happy it didn't happen. So it's just like, give God your plans and he will set them for you. The more you just force your plans, the more it's going to get complicated. So depend on God more when it doesn't plan out. Go to him. So the second thing this will allow you to do is to sharpen your skills. You'll be more equipped and prepared to do something again because you learned it before. And not just that, you've learned the mistakes, you learned the things you did right, you've learned from other people. Just the frustration really drives the hunger from inside of you outwards. So I would say during this time, you might not reach your goal, but having those initial steps and having that kind of that rock to lay on, that is what really perplexes you in the long run. That's the most important part of your journey. It's the beginning stages, the initial steps. Once you get to 10,000 or 50,000, or once you get to just whatever your goal is, that's more recurring. But the initial stages really teaches you how to operate in whatever you pursue. So the third thing that I would like to say would be working even harder the next time. As I mentioned, that hunger, that frustration really burns inside of you, and it makes you want to do better the next go around. And you don't want to just, be lackluster the second time around. You might have been the first time. You might have been frustrated. You might have quit. You might have quit and then come back and then quit again. But this second time, you have a renewed mindset. You have a renewed heart. You have just the eyes to see the things that you didn't see before. God lays the land in front of you, but it's also his opportunity to teach you what is on that land. And so I would say just use this time as a reflection time to analyze and figure out how are you actually going to reach the next milestone. Your goal shouldn't be to reach that golden belt. It should just be to reach that next milestone. If you can focus on the little things, let's say of a next milestone, you can reach all the goals you set in place. This leads me to John 10:27. My sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me. So don't get caught up in the comparing game. This is an easy decision to pursue, of course, when facing problems. But when making choices, seek God 24/7. He is there. We have instant access to God always. And sometimes, we always just, again, go through the problems of the everyday, just things of life. But we don't realize that God is like right here at all times. So for me, anytime I do something big, anytime I know where I need more strength or I need more power to achieve this certain thing, I always go to God. So for me, again, when I do big presentations for work, or not even for work, let's say at a church or anywhere else, I always envision that God is right next to me. He is always with us everywhere we go. He's closer than you might assume. He's closer than you see. He's in your room right now, just listening to this with you right now. So always, reverence God everywhere you go. Give him the full respect. Give him the full glory of just understanding and knowing that he can really make your nighttime into day. Understanding that, he's going to be there when you go through tough times. And even if you do fail, guess what? That was meant for his will to happen. Just today, I had something lined up where I thought I was going to be needed to, show up and give attendance. And somehow, I thought that I would be going there and doing this, and not doing this, but doing whatever they wanted me to do. And they came out the blue and said, well, actually, you're not needed today because of X, Y, and Z. And so in the back of my mind, again, I always ask God for help. I ask God, be with me throughout the tough times. Be with me when I don't feel certain that I can, show up to the plate. And I prayed that today, and I asked him, be with me. And if it's not for me, then if I shouldn't, go down this path, then, let it happen. If I should, let it happen. And so lo and behold, it didn't happen. And so I'm fine with that, and I'm not forcing it. But it really teaches you and shows you that God is there everywhere. He's really there making decisions that you can't see. He's in rooms dictating your future. And I don't know what more could be shown, or what more could be an example of someone that really loves you like that. So anything you do, always put God into it. I always do that. So just to, leave you off with something, don't allow the actions of the world to change your walk with God. Notice what areas you can integrate God in your day. And don't just integrate him into it. You want to also just have interaction. Interaction is the best way going down this, Christian walk. Interaction is the way to build a better trust and better faith with each other, just like a regular relationship. So when following God, it's always good to adopt a child mindset. You want to allow him to be your teacher and show the right steps to take. When we were kids, things were more simple than ever. Keep it simple. Be patient, and always listen to the instruction of the teacher. So I would like to state 3 last things to leave you off with on this fine sunny day. A fire is not always a fire. Don't get too impacted off of the fire drill. A tornado could be making a way ahead for you. And an intruder could be a building block to a lasting friendship. Never stress over what today looks like. Tomorrow could be way different. So I would like to say thank you for watching. If you got through this far, for watching the video, I definitely appreciate it. My plan is to create more videos going forward and just make a community. I have big plans in place, so please be on the lookout. I'll be try to post at least 2 or 3 videos every single week. And I hope you have a great day, and God be with you. So this has been August 5th or 4th or 6th. I'm not pretty sure. But maybe you can tell me whatever day you look at it. But just leave in the comments what was the biggest takeaways that you give
learned?
me one of the things that you're going through that can be kind of, a message to somebody else in the comments. I'll be there to support and help you as well. And I really appreciate this, and I'm just having fun doing this. But until next time, see you soon.